right, all right. Hello, hello. Gonna wait just another minute while I make sure everything is set up correctly. If you're here in the chat, feel free to say hi. Let me know how the sound balance is. I think it's okay. I think I got it fixed, but okay. Hello and welcome. I'm Zilla, and welcome to my live stream, where I play games that have ancient studies content in them and talk about it. You're hearing no audio.
Robbins.
Did you hear that? Like, I'm just trying to figure out if it's too low or if it's not coming through. Okay. Good. Excellent. So we're hearing it now. Okay, so the sound in the ambient sound in here is a little bit quiet. That's fine. But anyway, so today we are playing what might be the last playthrough of the last part of this playthrough of The Dig, an old LucasArts point and click game, where we have found ourselves stranded in a ruin on an alien planet, and we are trying to figure out what happened to them, what happened to us, and can we get home? If you don't want to get spoiled, you can go back and watch my previous videos, all on my YouTube channel, Zilla's Athenaeum. And let me give you a little recap if you're here starting fresh. So we are Commander Boston Lowe of the U.S. astronauts, Space Force. Oh, God. No, we're military man who is an astronaut. Was sent out with a specialist team. This is Maggie Robbins, who, aside from being a trained astronaut and part of the team, is also a genius linguist and a journalist, whom I am informed is not taking the appropriate amount of notes at any given time. Although I think we might just not be seeing that. We also have on our team a geologist and archaeologist and astronaut named Brink, Ludger Brink. When we got here, he did not practice proper safety precautions and opened up a loose shaft in the ground, fell down it to his death. And then we found some alien tech that brought him back to life, but not very safely. He seems very obsessed. So Maggie was working on sussing out the alien language from a library, which we are going to assume was designed so that, aliens could learn how to read and, I guess, speak this alien language as quickly as possible, because this seems to be, designed with that in mind, but it's hard to say. But, yeah, it hasn't even been a day, and she's apparently got it down fluently, and that's just not a thing. But, okay, fine. Gameplay reasons, fine. So Maggie got kidnapped by an alien spider beast critter. We have just freed her, but in doing so, Brink took the advantage and shoved me down and took all of my life crystals. So here we are, still in the alien lair, talking to Maggie. What's up, Maggie?
What do you think of our situation now, Maggie?
You want the truth, Boston? I thought I had faced reality when Brink died. But when that monster carried me off, I finally understood what it means to be in an alien place. Nothing here is going to go the way we expect it. There's no guarantee there even is a way home.
We have had some help from the ghosts.
There's no game
They have
audio.
their own ideas of what they want us to do.
Huh.
They don't care whether we get home or not.
But I do, and you do. So we're not giving up.
Oh, I know.
Hmm.
I'll keep on searching and trying to understand. Even if I die here, I'll at least know something.
Is
about
there
the
game
place
audio
before
now?
it broke, right?
I guess that's a comfort.
Did you get game audio for the last bit of that? Okay, well, turn it back to a normal volume for my voice, and then tell me if you hear this next bit of dialogue.
You were starting to tell me something before Bob the Lobster came to pick you up for your date.
Whew, Bob the Lobster.
Just a sample of what I was reading. Nothing significant. What mattered is that I could understand it. I've caught on to how their language works.
So, did you hear that? Okay, still very quiet. I'll try one more.
I don't know about you, but I'm starting to get tired. I've done a lot of digging.
And I've done so much reading, my eyes ache.
Now that is relatable from an archaeological point of view. So is it still very quiet compared to me? Okay. All right. So next attempt, let's ask
Still
another
hanging in
question.
there?
I'm okay, Boston. Don't worry about me.
How'd that come through? Jeez, still? Okay. First we couldn't get it quiet enough to hear me, now we can't get it loud enough to hear.
As worried as I am for Brink, I can't help feeling a little angry at him.
He's wacko. Nuts. Out of his mind with greed. He's not himself. It's those damn crystals.
How was that one? Much closer. Okay. Good enough. Let's ask about the grate. It's a grate.
You handled that whole business with the grate pretty well, Maggie.
I hate to admit it, but it was a good idea you had. Not everybody thinks of diverting a waterfall.
Do you have any idea what it was you did to attract the thing to you?
I don't wear perfume, and heaven knows this outfit isn't exactly alluring. I was just sitting there.
Apparently that's enough.
That's usually enough for very lonely men on Earth. As for this monster, I'd just as soon not have another date like that anytime soon.
Doesn't that just say a lot about folks? Oh, there's an interesting thing to ask about.
Now
I wonder
that
if
you
you
can
can
read the
read this.
library inscriptions, can you make any sense out of this?
It didn't even look like the same language to me before. But now I can see the relationship between this writing and the things I read in the library.
What does it say?
It seems to be talking about an important thing, I don't know what, that was hidden
Any hints about where?
on the other side of the hole, so that none may enter.
The other side of the what?
Then it tells how to, pull back this part of entrance, whatever that means.
Now,
It's pretty
that
There are
is
some things that
some
man
linguist
was not
speak.
meant to understand.
Yeah, But this one, even a woman is having a hard time with.
But little bit 90s there, I'm gonna say. But yeah, so that sort of like, well, this means a hole and that means a parting of entrance, and you know, like that is very, very common when you're dealing with translating things from languages where you don't have the context. Like, there are symbols in cuneiform that can mean a certain type of syllable or a different syllable if there's a different marking next to it, or one line off that may or may not still exist. Or it can be, you know, the sign for king in like just a symbol. And you know, if you don't have the context, you really can't know, even if you can read the language. So let's look around. Oh, well, let's ask her
Where are
about the
those
big
ghosts when you really need them?
Well,
They
whatever.
only show up when they think they need us.
Fair point. Let's
Thanks.
quit talking. Where haven't I been lately? Isn't there another part of this island? Oh yeah, there totally is. Like, what's out here?
It's shimmering. A light that doesn't seem real. As if it's just on the edge of existence.
It makes me think of something.
Oh, really?
Something I saw earlier. Or maybe I read it.
Well, I've got a thing for you to read.
Can you look at this inscription, Maggie? Does it say anything that might help?
It wasn't clear to me before, but now I can see. Boston. It exactly describes that strange field of almost light.
What does it say?
It's a set of instructions. Now it makes perfect sense.
That happens way less often.
I just twist this.
Oh, hey. Hello. What was that?
Everything's so simple when you read the directions.
If we didn't know better, we'd think that island had been there for 1,000,000 years.
Well, wait, did that say opening? Okay. I guess we can get out here. Let's see what's in it. Artifacts and islands and stuff do not, in fact, materialize out of thin air. Ooh, that looks fancy.
What was so important that they left us exact instructions on how to get here?
Maybe that metal plate over there.
Which is just spinning in the air. In an island under the water that didn't exist 5 minutes ago.
That's the fourth one. If it's like the metal plates on Attila, these four should fit together in that triangle matrix.
Yes, but there's no guarantee that putting them together will take us anywhere we want to go.
You have the most cheerful thoughts, Ms. Robbins.
If you had been abducted by a monster and then half drowned, you might be pessimistic too.
As if
But
she
you
isn't
lived,
always that
didn't
way.
And your hair looks terrific again.
You sure know how to make a girl feel good.
We'd better go find Brink again. In case these metal plates do the job.
He threatened to kill me the last time I saw him. Maybe it would be safer if we leave him and send an expedition back to get him later. An armed expedition.
There's no guarantee we'll ever get back. For all we know, this is a one-way trip.
You're right. We can't leave him. He scares me, Boston. Worse than the monster.
They're both just hungry for something.
But Brink is smarter, more dangerous.
We're smart too. Let's go.
So, chat says artifacts do dematerialize into thin air when Heinrich Schliemann is around, and that is the truth, along with a lot of other archaeologists. You know, a lot of these people who just kind of went around digging up old stuff with no regard for anything except their own fame and fortune. And, you know, that's what they got, fame and fortune. So, like, there are still people who believe that Heinrich Schliemann was, like, this genius archaeologist explorer guy who, you know, spoke 1,000 languages and unearthed the treasures of Troy, which... he was a con man who had a buddy in Turkey who found what might be Troy, and then, like, dug until he found gold, regardless of what else was there, dumped it all on top of his 14-year-old cousin wife, and then had her pose for the pictures like she just found it lying there. Among other things. So, like, that's... calm. You know, that's looters for you. That's you know, the gentleman adventurer of fame and fortune, especially in the Victorian era. Yeah, hi. Hello to the English watching. You have some things you want to return? Just a few, maybe? I mean, you could just abolish that monarchy now. Anytime. You just go ahead. Anyway, back to the point. Back to the game. So, Maggie has expressed a very reasonable set of worries about Brink, but, I mean, it also wouldn't be right to abandon anyone here. So, where are we headed? Oh,
That was a powerful one.
another earthquake.
Commander Lowe, can you hear me?
Huh! Brink contacting
Brink,
us.
we're looking for you. We've got the last of the metal plates and we...
Listen to me, Commander. I'm trapped. I need your help.
Where are you?
It's near one of the light bridges.
One of them.
An arched bridge over a waterfall, and then into a crevice in the rock.
Well, I do know
You
what
must
that
have
is.
been there. You're the one who's been turning on all the light bridges, aren't you?
Hold tight, we're on our way.
Hold tight! Very funny.
Chat says, pyramids are in Egypt because they wouldn't fit in the British Museum. Hi, archaeology Twitter. I love you. So let's see if we can go help Brink, because we shouldn't leave anybody here if we can avoid it. Which... I think that was on the planetarium spot. Yeah, here we are. It was over here, right? Oh, a crevice. What do you know? Ooh, cutscene time.
You
know
just
that...
got your hand jammed in the rock? I thought you were in real trouble, Brink.
When would it be real trouble, Commander? When it's your hand?
I don't go sticking my hand in the cracks.
I was reaching for a life crystal, and then the rock shifted. My circulation is cut off. No blood is getting to my hand. You can't pull me out, Commander. Don't leave me to die here, even if you have to cut off my hand.
Don't be so dramatic, Brink. Nobody's going to cut off your hand.
Don't make promises you might not be able to keep, Maggie.
Are you serious? He's just got a stuck hand.
It's a race to see whether gangrene kills him before he dies of thirst or starvation.
You'd cut it off.
Of course he would. The military trains you to recognize necessity and do it.
It would be easier if I had anything to cut it with.
Chew it off then!
Oh, I would, Brink. But human teeth can't bite through bone.
After all that's happened to us, this may be the most horrible.
Do something, Commander! Do it now!
And this is, in fact, why you don't go sticking your hand into random crevices in the rock. And when we were here earlier, Lo did, in fact, take one look at this particular crevice and say, only an idiot would put their hand in there. So, yeah, that was a bit of foreshadowing for us, but also a bit of practical one. The other reason you don't do this, of course, is because you don't know what lives in there and it might bite you. But I think it is pretty profound that Maggie says this is the worst thing that's happened to them. I think she's right. It's not the spider kidnapping you that's the worst thing that could ever happen. Or Bob the Lobster, they called him. It's not somebody outright dying. Ooh, more earthquake. What it is the things that seem mundane that force you into terrible situations. The things that seem like there must be a way out that doesn't involve the worst case scenario. But there just isn't. Because when something dramatically terrible happens to you, you don't feel like there's hope. Like, if you manage to get out of it, that's amazing. But this just feels like there should be a better way. I'm sorry, my viewers, there's not.
You're going to saw off his hand with a jawbone?
The teeth are razor sharp.
What about anesthetic?
Do it, Commander!
Brace yourself, Brink. I can't believe you endured so much pain without fainting.
I'm fine. But I'll need more crystals.
Come with us to the Triangle Matrix. We've got all the metal plates. We think it's gonna take us home.
You don't know where it's going to take you. I'd rather gather more life crystals.
What if it does take us home, Brink? What if we can't come back and get you? Do you want to stay here forever? Then what will happen to your research into the life crystals?
Yes, I see your point. I'll go with you to try out these metal plates. But if it doesn't get us home, then you two will stop interfering with me from then on. All right? You agree we have a deal?
Agreed.
All right, all right.
Oh, it takes us all the way back here. I guess they're gonna start that without input. Okay. Here's a pause where I can talk again. So, that was horrifying. Imagine playing this as a child. But if you know anything about pre-modern medicine, then that should have given you quite a bit of pause, because Brink was very likely to bite his own tongue or attack Lo while surgery was happening, and there was no attempt at sanitation at all. So even with such primitive tools, there are certain things that the ancients and even people of 100 years ago sometimes would have done that could mitigate some of that horror. He should have had something to bite down on. Maggie should have been behind him, holding him still. And the teeth should have been sterilized, probably through fire. And the fire should have been handy so that Brink could cauterize the wound once it was over. So ancient medicine we do know a lot about. The Greeks were actually very good at it. They were known throughout the ancient world for their medicine, which they probably half got from the Egyptians. And but you know, like, we do know that they had these techniques in the ancient past, and there is every chance that somebody trained in worst case scenarios like Commander Lowe would know them. So, as gruesome as that was, it should have actually been a little bit less. I'm glad they didn't show more of it on screen. One wonders if the life crystal did actually, like, seal the wound over for him. And what it would actually do, considering that it wouldn't bring an incorrect or incomplete turtle skeleton to life. You know, there's every chance that Brink is now can't be brought back if something happens to him. Well, let's see what this does.
That should do it.
Do what? What's happening?
Nothing is happening, that's what.
Well, there was no panel for that door.
That's not exactly nothing, Brink.
It's a door. You think Earth is on the other side? I think nothing is on the other side.
What did you expect? The Tooth Fairy to come and fly us all home? The door opened. Let's go see what's in there.
We had a deal. I came, these metal plates did not take us home, and now you will have to leave me alone forever. You gave me your word, and I expect you to keep it.
He is definitely insane.
Is that your opinion as a journalist?
It's my opinion as a sane person.
Yeah, I mean, it's not... So, they're not wrong, but also, do not go around armchair diagnosing people. Just saying. So, we've opened the door to the 5th spire. Let's see what's down there. Well, that doesn't look like it was always there. You can see the water-carved curves here. We don't get curves in the architecture practically anywhere. We have all these straight lines and arches at best. So that probably was caused by seismic fracturing, and looks like we've got some root growth through this part as well. So let's see if the tram call works. And it does. Okie doke. Gets me every time. So what is through here?
I saw something like this in the museum display.
You did?
This machine was the greatest of the inventor's achievements.
Wow,
What
you
does it do?
got a lot out of that I didn't
I
get.
haven't the faintest idea.
Do you think it might send us home?
Right now, it's doing nothing.
Well, here's a strange object. Let's go poke it. Okay. We have spinny things. A console? Does it do anything?
It's a row of crystalline devices.
It does not. What about this one?
It looks like there's a part missing here. There's a gap. Looks like a life crystal would fit perfectly in here.
Wacky.
Looks like a life crystal would fit perfectly in here.
Guess we need to get some more life crystals. What about up? There's a lot of up here. Unless that's not a real ramp. Controls? Will that do anything?
I don't know how to work these controls.
Yeah, well, neither do I. Ooh, another strange object. More spinny things. Poke all the spinny things. I have no idea what any of this does. It looks like there's another control panel back there, but it doesn't do anything. It won't light up.
I don't know what to do with this device.
Well, there's an up. A lab, they call it. Okay. There is no way of determining what that lab was. A nest?
Sorry, bird. You'll have to find a new home.
Oh, but look at the bird. It's all cute and bird-like. Alright, let's see if this one is broken. Nope. Worked perfectly first try. Just had to get rid of the birds. Is there more around here? I guess not. I wonder what the crystal form looks like now. Creepy. It looks like a big eye.
It doesn't look safe to walk there.
Yeah, it doesn't look safe to walk where you are either, though. Alright. So, like, the whole point of trying to go find Maggie was to talk to this alien, right? So let's go talk to the alien with Maggie. Oh, wait. Do I even have any life crystals left? I should go see if I can find some. What's in my inventory? Yeah, no life crystals. Well, let's see how far I can get. Oh no. Doesn't look like the earthquake damaged it any further, and those guys are still gone. Can I get a life crystal out of here?
A life crystal fell from this slot and resurrected that guardian creature.
Cool. Okay.
It's the remains of a huge creature. Robbins.
Oh, we have some options now. But, like...
When I called you before you were kidnapped, I was trying to tell you that it worked. I revived the alien.
Was it angry? Glad?
He didn't kill me, if that's what you mean. He
It's
talked to me,
good
but
baseline.
I didn't understand anything he said. Maggie, we've got to find a way to communicate with the alien inventor.
Inventor? How did you get that?
I know, Boston. He's the only one who can answer our questions.
He's
There's
also the
that.
only one who knows for sure how to get us home.
If he does.
After seeing what they've done to Brink, we'd better think long and hard before we start duplicating these back on Earth.
Don't worry, we're probably never going back there.
Cheerful
And
thought.
even if we do, I doubt anyone will ever be able to figure out this alien science.
Well, someone probably will eventually.
We've got to try and turn on the inventor's machine.
Why do you think this guy's an
It's the
inventor?
only way to
What is
find
the
out
deal?
what it does.
What do we do? Search all these islands for a part when we don't even know what it looks like? Where are all those helpful hints now?
The hints were about things they deliberately hid to keep them safe. But this missing part, what if it was stolen? Or just corroded away?
Then all of this would be for nothing. Boston, somebody knows what the missing part does, and maybe even where it is.
Well, I don't know.
I wasn't talking about you. I was talking about somebody who was sealed in a crystal pyramid.
A fair point.
What if I hadn't noticed that inscription and taken it with me? We could have wandered around here until we died without ever finding that island.
They hide it. Then they help us find it. Who can understand why aliens do what they do?
Hopefully you can.
Maybe it's a test of our intelligence.
Or maybe it's a test of our dumb luck.
Or our persistence.
I have a feeling if I click on that more, I would just get an
Thanks.
endless string of... Or are this, or are that. Like when we had those dad jokes earlier. I like that they build a rapport. It feels nice and real. Okay, so we need more life crystals, or we can't talk to Monsieur Alien. So let's go see if we can get some life crystals. And maybe take a look at the museum and see if we can figure out what the heck Boston is talking about. Okay, so that was the pyramid. Oh, no, this is Welcome to Earth, dear aliens. Like, I thought this was the easiest one to interpret. Although why they represent their, like, civilization as a graph, I don't know. This one, I believe, was the tomb, right? Yeah. So, important alien goes in the pyramid, tells us about the tree in front of the hole in the spire and the moons. Which is difficult to interpret unless you have already seen all of that. But, you know. Nice of them
The
to
larger
leave
moon
us
is being eclipsed by the smaller one.
Yeah, cool. So, what about you? Okay, so that's life crystal. Open it up over skeleton and it becomes an alien again. Something to do with cell regeneration, presumably. And then this one is the explosive. So where did he get this idea about the inventor and his machines? Boom.
Boom.
Yeah, I don't know. Okay. So we'll just have to take his word for it. Does anybody remember a part I don't where it explains about the inventor? Okay, into the life crystal room.
Maybe I should take one more life crystal.
Oh, we're gonna need at least 3.
I can't use these two things together.
I mean, with Brink on the loose, let's just take a bunch, right? Okay. How many we have now? A bunch. Okay. Back to the tomb.
Robbins.
Oops. Didn't mean to click on you.
Never mind.
Yeah. Normally you would want quite a bit of evidence beyond he was important to determine that he is an inventor. And I don't know where he says he's seen something like it before. I can't think what. Okay. Let's wake you up. Thankfully, short little cutscene.
Here's where my alien education either pays off or we die.
Die?
As long as I don't accidentally offend him, we'll be okay.
Aklash Pak.
He says, open your mouth, which is their way of saying speak.
You do the talking, Maggie, so you can understand each other.
Speak.
Right. So, as someone who has a knack for learning new languages, I have to tell you that either there was some magic in that console, or this is completely just not how things. So, we don't know for sure that there was no audio component to what she was learning from, but it seems pretty unlikely. And that means that we have no idea how they conceptualize verbal relationships to written sign. So, while she may well have gathered enough to figure out that the phrase open your mouth means speak, how she would know what syllables that corresponds to, I have no idea. Let's just hand wave it. Now, if you're in the real world and you're dealing with an ancient language, there are lots of ways to figure this out, but it's not always possible. We still don't know what Linear A is. We figured out that Linear B is a cuneiform-ish version of Mycenaean Greek, but that was half luck and half hundreds of years of work. Happened to recognize a word, the word for king, as I recall, basileos, which I think was represented as basilewo, wa being a sound that you couldn't actually make in ancient Greek by the time we have much writing. But there was actually a letter called digamma because it was written like a gamma on top of another gamma. Looks like a capital F, more or less, that made a W sound. And that just dropped out over time in Greek. And these days, there is a W sound in in modern Greek, because the sounds have shifted in those hundreds of years. So we know how ancient Greek was pronounced because we have comparanda from other languages. We have it set against the cuneiform symbols of the Near East, which were written for a language that was broken up into certain syllables and didn't have all of the sounds. Like when you try to transliterate English into Japanese, and there's just some things that don't quite work because Japanese doesn't close its syllables. Everything ends in either a vowel or an n, which is kind of a nasal vowel. So, like, we know how ancient Greek of various kinds was pronounced because we can compare it to other things that it was next to, or the way that the Romans spoke it. And we know that ancient Latin is not pronounced the same way that modern Latin is. And by modern Latin, I mostly mean Church Latin, but there are some Latin speakers. Like 100 or so of them. And we know that it's different because we have things to compare it to. And people tell you that their language hasn't changed over time, but it really has. Not this guy's, though. Because he's been there the whole time. Dead. So, let's talk to him.
Why was your tomb so carefully hidden?
So only the most persistent, the most clever, and therefore the most dangerous of visitors would find me.
So persistence and intelligence. Cool.
Why has your body been preserved so carefully?
Since all the evil in this place was my fault, I chose to be its guardian forever.
Well, that's a statement.
If what you did was bad, why do the museum displays give you so much honor?
There was a time when my creations were thought to be good. I believed it myself, or I would never have created them.
How long will you remain here?
Until the last of my mistakes is rectified, or until the life crystals lose their power out of miserable death.
Okay, we're out of questions.
We want to go home.
That is the wish of all living creatures.
Is it?
It is a vain wish, for there is no true home. All intelligence wanders and has no rest.
Well, it does say something profound, and he sure
The
did.
probe you sent out brought us here. We want to go back to our home planet.
Another one of our terrible mistakes. We sent out those probes when we thought we had found the glorious secrets of the universe. We could not call them back. Thus, I remain here to warn all those who come in answer to an invitation we wish we had not sent.
Well, that answers a lot of questions.
Warning us won't do any good unless we can get back home to Earth to tell other humans.
There are two ways to protect your planet. One is if you return and warn them to stay away. The other is if you never return at all. Which warning do you think will be more effective?
Grim.
Tell us how to get back to Earth. I beg you.
If my people could return from Space-Time 6 where they have gone,
Excuse?
they would rebuild this starport. They would make a crystal ship, which would take you back to your planet. But they will never find their way back home.
Ooh, key dokie then.
The light bridges are magnificent. We never dreamed that people could walk on light.
We did, though.
Ah, yes. We were happily surprised at how convenient those light strands turned out to be. If we had known, we would not have bothered to build the trams.
Convenient how everything is just so easily
If
comprehensible.
you were surprised that the lights could be used as bridges, what did you create them for?
When all the bridges are complete, the eye will see.
Well, that's creepy, considering the thing in the middle that looks like an eye.
When you say the eye will see, you aren't talking about our eyes, are you?
An eye that can see the 3 dimensions of time, as well as the 3 dimensions of space. It will show you beauty beyond belief. But once you have seen Space-Time 6, will you ever see Space-Time 4 again? The eye may be open, but the mind hasn't the strength to see.
Well, that's actually a nice explanation, isn't it? So, I mean, it is, you know, theoretical physics, dimension theory. I think we still don't particularly understand the dimensions beyond 4 at this point. But, you know, this is a nice pseudo future sci-fi science for us to have an explanation for what transcendence would mean, moving to another plane of existence in terms of dimensionality. But being able to physically go into space-time 6 when you can't perceive... I don't really know how that would work, but I don't have to. It's a pretty decent sci-fi conceit. Hi, kitty.
The machine in your laboratory, what does it do?
Where the lights all shine, it opens the eye.
Okay. So the thing we opened in the last spire apparently opens the way to Space-Time 6.
The eye. Does that mean the crystal at the meeting place of the light bridges? The machine generated this eye.
The eye sees into all space and time. And where the eye sees, the mind can fly.
Chat says, like in Flatland, yes. Like in Flatland, where there are not quite so many dimensions at play. But how could Flatlanders conceive of the 3-dimensional world?
Was this eye the doorway into the place where your people went?
A door that can be crossed only one way.
You don't know that.
I mean,
If someone
they
has
might.
a strong enough tie to reality...
Do you think you are stronger than all my people? Even they, the strongest race known, could not overcome the temptation before it was too late.
The strongest race known? What does that mean? Were there others? I mean, how many people have you talked to aside from your own? What else is going on this planet? Can we get out there? What? There's so much implied by that one little throwaway line that we're not going to get the answers to. But I will say something about the sort of colonial arrogance of that statement. So we've seen now that this civilization was... they thought they had figured out the technical marvels of the universe, that they had something to share with everyone else who is out there. They were willing to send out probes and bring people back here without obtaining their consent. You know, it's... like, they could have sent one of the consoles and let people figure it out before they opened the crystal ship. Like, they didn't. They just sent the ship. So, like, this attitude of, my people are the strongest people who've ever existed, and you think you can do better, it smacks to me of colonial arrogance. Of the idea that sentient life is not equal. And I'm not sure we're really gonna get a counter-argument. Exactly. But, you know, it's one of those things of, like, if you ask somebody in a colonizer country about why their colonies are justified, you'll get answers a little bit like that.
If we bring your people back to this world, then they can build a starship to take us home to Earth. It's our only chance. Maybe we'll fail, but you must let us try.
Since you think you are stronger and wiser than my people, I will let you have the fruit of your pride. I will tell you how to find the piece I hid, if you know how to ask. But it will cost you more than you ever imagined.
Well,
The
I want to
island
ask
we
about
found,
everything else
Where
first.
was it hidden?
It left this reality, but only a little way. It can come back, because it never fully left.
Sorry, what?
The island moves in and out of our reality?
It loses substance with every passage. We thought we could take our world with us into space-time 6. It could not be done.
That's actually kind of interesting. But it does give the impression that at some point those trams are going to stop working quite right, because those ramps are going to stop showing up.
When something leaves our reality, where does it go?
To a place where time is infinite in all directions. But because it does not move along a single line, it can never be predicted or controlled. Those who go there from here cannot change anything. They are nothing but observers. Forever.
And ghosts, apparently.
The creatures who live here now, did you people know of them, or did they come later?
Millions of years have passed since
Millions.
what once were pets or companions have followed their own evolutionary paths. They have become as beautiful or as terrible, as clever or as stupid as it was in them to be.
Okay. No. Millions of years? No, I don't think so. Thousands? Yes. Millions? No, 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 no. If millions of years had passed, none of this would be at all accessible. The buildup of rock alone, the seismic activity, this should all be completely wiped out. The timeline here is not gonna work on that scale.
The monster who captured me, are there any more of them?
That one did not evolve. It was made. And there are as many of them as are needed.
Excuse? Needed for what? Exactly?
Who are you, Honored One?
It took us
bringer
this
of
far to get that?
misfortune.
Please tell me who you are.
I am the doer who undoes, the creator who uncreates.
Now see, this
And yet,
I could translate to
I would
inventor.
gladly be the destroyer who undestroys, the dangerous one who protects.
Speak plainly. Tell us who you are.
Once I was hailed as the greatest mind my people ever produced. I tried to bring them power and happiness.
Those
I
two
gave
things
them
don't
power
always
to
go
leave
together.
this world, to leave their bodies, to enter an existence as pure mind, eternally perfect. But I could not give them the power to return and reclaim their abandoned bodies, their decaying world. They are lost and cannot return.
You'd think there would be more evidence of their bodies
Have
if they
you a
were left
name?
behind.
I had a name when I was alive. Now that I am again and again dead, what need have I for names? My body is now so ancient that the crystals scarcely have power over me. I rise for a few minutes, and then I fall again. Soon, I will cease to rise at all. Only then will my grief end. I want no name or memory to live after me.
Well, it's good to know that the crystals have diminishing returns.
Did you invent the life crystals? To raise the dead is the greatest achievement we've seen.
What raises the dead can debase the living.
Are there side effects to the crystals?
What the crystals create is not a life, but a slave.
So when the life crystals restore you, you aren't really alive?
They restore the cells and the organs, but take away all that made the life worth living.
Then why did you make them?
Our society became obsessed with living eternally. I underestimated the breadth and danger of the obsession. The crystals are the second worst mistake I made.
All right.
Please, don't play any more games with us. Where is the missing piece?
You cannot understand what will begin if you activate the eye.
I mean, you told
cannot
us.
bear to pay what it will cost you.
At least, more or less.
Yes, you've warned us. Now where is the piece?
Go to the map with this message and see what it shows you. I have said enough.
Okay.
Thank you for helping us.
I will only have helped you when you give up your foolish plan.
We're not giving up.
My only consolation is that true death comes closer with each dying.
Honestly, he's
Good
remarkably
job of
cogent for
translating,
that.
Maggie.
He speaks very slowly and clearly. But I'm also pretty damn good.
Miraculously good. Okay. We have that now? Yes. The creator's engraving. Okay, fine. Off to the maps. I think we're close enough to the end that I'm just gonna push on. Let's see, did I do the thing where I get the animation this time? So I don't think I've gotten an animation of going up, but I don't remember if there is one. Nope. Alright. Okie doke. What is our new pattern? Red circle, red hex, red square, blue triangle. Oh, got it on the first try. So what's this? Oh, I remember that place. Where is that place? Is it gonna tell us?
So that's where the part is.
Assuming he gave us the right code.
Where is that? Let me see. Oh, I think it's here, isn't it? It's here somewhere. Is it in the is it in the nest? There's some place with a beach. It's not over that way. You'd think she'd have a visceral reaction to being here, honestly. There it is. What did I say about unnatural rocks? Now we know what's going on.
I wish I knew what's going to happen when I get this piece back in place. The hiding place wasn't too subtle.
Maybe he's got a few tricks up his sleeve. If he had sleeves, that is. But we still have to try.
All right. Let's get back out of here. Sorry for the re-traumatization, Robbins. Okay. Head back over here. See what we can see. Got a couple of life crystals in our pockets, and the eye part. Let's see if we can turn this baby on. Hi, Brink.
Where have you been?
Where have we been?
I need your crystals. All of them. Right now!
No?
Come on, Brink. How many crystals can one man use?
Not for me, you fools. I need them for my machine. For science. Research. Give them to me!
For science!
Machine? What are you talking about?
I'm through talking! I'm not going to let anybody stand between me and the greatest scientific achievement in history!
I only have these few crystals left, Brink, but I'll be glad to share some of them if you want.
All of them! You didn't share anything, Lo. I took them! And it's a good thing you didn't fight me. I would have killed you to get these.
You would have tried.
You two will be nothing but a footnote in the annals of my achievements.
Sure thing, Brink.
He didn't damage the machine part, did he?
Nope. But...
It fits, but the machine still doesn't work. Did the alien lie to us? Or does the machine need something else?
Were you a dang fool? You were a dang fool. Alright. Let's go find Brink again. Steal back a couple of crystals. It is kind of interesting that the life crystals need, or are some component in this machinery. It suggests that they're related somehow. I mean, maybe what they're doing is physically turning back time on what they're used on. The tomb spire, that's what we need. Go find Brink and his machine. Now, why does it call the tram to the other side of the tram station? Who designed this thing?
Get away from here! I won't let you break my life crystal machine!
We don't want to break anything.
My machine isn't working yet. Yes, gloat if you want to. I've studied all the inscriptions. Maggie's not the only one who can decipher strange languages. I followed the plans I found, but there's still something missing, and without it the machine won't work. So if you think you can steal my life crystals again, Commander Lowe, think again. I'll kill you first, and believe me, no one will ever revive you.
Actually, you've robbed me twice, and I only robbed you once. So you're still one ahead.
Don't joke with me!
Why not?
Don't joke with him, Boston.
I mean...
Go away! My work is very important. You can't possibly understand what I'm doing here.
Okay.
What are you doing here? I have no need for your help.
Alrighty then. Well, that design suggested something to me. It's going to be very annoying to check, but I'm pretty sure I'm right. If all the tech here works on the same stuff, then of course the one piece we need for this is also the one piece he needs for that, right? Maybe once it starts making crystals, I can have a couple of things back, but I don't think it's a good idea. I just don't see what else I could possibly do. Stonework 1,000,000 years old. No way. Absolutely not. Alright, Brink. What if I give you your stinking relic part? Then can I have a couple of crystals?
Go away! My work is very important.
Yeah,
You can't possibly understand what I'm doing here.
you said that. Huh. What about this?
I don't want that. It's just another artifact.
Brink, this is important. I think I know what piece is missing from your machine.
How can you know anything about this? You're not a scientist. You're just a strutting tin soldier.
I think it's the same piece that the eye generator needed. I think it's the key to all this technology. The alien inventor hid it because without it, none of the machines he considers dangerous will work.
Good thing he designed them all that way.
Why would the creator of life crystals think they were dangerous?
Because the crystals make you feel so good that they take over your life. All you care about is getting more of them. He said it was the second worst mistake he'd made.
And the worst mistake?
The eye.
So you and Maggie, you keep telling me I'm crazy. But you plan to make an even worse mistake.
I'll make you a deal, Brink.
Yes, like the deal you made before. I keep my part, but you go back on it.
I didn't go back on it. I just wanted to talk about it with you first.
No deals with liars and thieves.
Brink, you need what I have to make your machine work. But if it works, then you'll have plenty of life crystals, right? You could share them with us and it wouldn't cost you anything, right?
If you have the missing parts, yes.
That's my deal. Your machine, my part. 50-50 on the life crystals.
I know you plan to cheat me.
We won't even come near the machine when it's running. You divide up the life crystals.
Then what's to stop me from keeping them all?
Because I am trained as a military man, Brink. And if I ever actually decide to fight you, I don't care how strong and healthy you are. You will lose. And then I will take them all. Got it?
Get your missing part and put it in my machine. Even liars and thieves can bargain as long as they watch each other very carefully.
Well, it worked anyway.
It fits perfectly. This is how the aliens designed the life crystal machine to work.
Nothing's happening.
Yes, it is. It's vibrating. Be patient. Who knows how fast it's supposed to work? We'll just have to wait.
Suits me fine. We'll split them 50-50, right?
Of course.
50-50. Look, there's one. And another.
2.
Is that all? Just 2? I need more than 2.
I don't know about that, Brink, but it's a sure thing I need more than 1. You still have all the crystals you stole from me and every other place on these islands.
Don't touch them!
50-50, you said, Brink. Well, you must have hundreds of life crystals. It's not even 50-50 if I take these 2.
I knew you were a liar and a cheat.
You weren't gonna let me have even one of these.
I'll make the machine even better. It will produce more.
Not till we're gone, it won't. I need that machine part to run the eye generator.
You will take nothing from this machine, you lying thief!
Once the eye is working, you can either come back with us to Earth, or you can stay here, take the part out of the eye generator, and put it back in your own machine. Just have a little patience.
Okay, I have control again.
No! My machine is stopping!
Yeah.
You've wrecked my machine!
Now you know how it works.
A dead man!
Brink, please. We don't have to fight. You can have the part back after we're done with it.
Everything you say is a lie!
Maggie, tell him.
If you say a word, Maggie, I'll kill you too!
Brink, don't make me hurt you.
You won't hurt me when you're dead!
Brink!
Yeah, that
Oh,
fight
Maggie,
choreography
please
did
believe me,
not
I didn't
make
want to
sense.
hurt him. I didn't want him dead.
It wasn't Brink who died here. Brink died when he fell down the hole when we first arrived. What just fell over the cliff was someone else. Someone alien. Created by those death crystals.
Maggie, are we making an even worse mistake? By activating the eye?
Staying in this world any longer than we have to, that's the worst mistake we could make. We've got to do anything we can to survive.
But what if we die trying?
Don't you get it, Boston? This place is worse than death. I'd rather die than stay here.
I mean, I disagree with you on that count, but... So long, Brink. So I don't think that they're making a mistake worse than Brink's. But I don't think that's the proper justification for it. It would be perfectly possible to, instead of asking how to get home, to ask the inventor how to live on this world, how to get to other islands or continents maybe, what other peoples there are. I mean, maybe he doesn't know since it's been a million years. No, it hasn't. But I do think that it is worth seeing what they can see with this eye. I mean, if they get sucked into sixth dimensional space, it's not going to be any worse for them than it is for the people already there, and at least they won't, you know, suffer and die in this world.
This thing has already killed one of us, but it's back in place.
We have exactly 2 life
The
crystals.
crystals Brink died for.
Oh, right, the buttons up top.
I don't know what to do with this device. I don't know what to do with this device.
What do you mean?
I don't know how to work these controls.
Okay, does just putting it in mean that it's done then? I guess let's go find out. If it doesn't, well, we'll see.
It doesn't look safe to walk there.
Okay, it did not work. Alright. What do we gotta do? Oh. Alright. Well, let's see. Let's see if there's anything Robbins has to say about this darn alien device.
Robbins. You're the one who read the alien books.
Haha!
What exactly happens when we turn it on with enough life crystals in it?
It would have taken me years to read everything, Boston. And I didn't understand half of what I read.
Now,
But there's no
that's
doubt
true.
that this machine is dangerous. The alien warned us it might cost us more than we expected.
What does that mean?
It might mean that just turning on the machine might kill us.
You mean he booby-trapped the thing?
I mean that the machine may draw on more than life crystals. It may drain the life out of whoever uses it.
Then I'm running the controls.
Don't be absurd. It might do nothing, too. Or it could kill whoever isn't at the controls. I just want to tell you.
No goodbyes. We're gonna make it home together, Maggie.
I'm not sentimental, Boston. I wasn't going to say goodbye. I just want you to promise me something.
After you saw me break every promise I made to Brink, you want me to make another one to you?
What happened with Brink couldn't be helped, Boston. I know you'll keep your word with me.
What's the promise?
If I die and you live, don't use any life crystals on me. Don't revive me. Do you understand?
Are you sure?
I saw what Brink became. I don't want that to happen to me. You wouldn't
Everybody
be
deserves
saving
bodily
Maggie Robbins.
autonomy.
You'd be creating a monster with my memories, my face. Don't do it. Promise me.
I promise, Maggie. And vice versa, okay?
All right.
And now you tell me the truth about something, Maggie. Are you sure you didn't find out somewhere that something bad happens to the person at the controls of this machine?
Boston, I don't know any more than you do about what will happen when I switch this thing on.
If that's a lie, I'm gonna be really ticked off, Maggie.
Yeah, I know. Here we go.
It's a lot of buttons for only a few of them to actually do anything.
It's stuck. I'll have to pry it open.
Be careful.
Lucky it isn't worse than stuck.
Ah!
Maggie! Maggie, you liar. You knew this would happen.
The eye.
It worked. The eye is restored.
Worth it then. Go home.
Maggie.
Well, that sucks. I honestly didn't remember that. I don't really get that she lied, though. Like, it kind of seems like that was an accident. But even if I wanted to break my promise to her, I don't have any life crystals. And like I said, everyone deserves bodily autonomy, even maybe especially in death. It sure looks very brain-like, doesn't it?
I should have known the inventor would have one more trick up his sleeve.
That seems like a very easy solution. Sploosh.
That was the inventor's last chance to stop me. I will get out into Space-Time 6. I will bring the people of this place back home, and they will build me a starship that will take me back to Earth. I guess this is the real test. Can a practical guy from Earth do what all the builders of this place failed to do? Can I go into Space-Time 6 and still find my way back to reality? Only one way to find out.
So... I don't like that he calls Space-Time 6 not reality, and I don't like the attitude that, one military man from Earth is more practical than an entire alien species. But,
It's beautiful. A guy could get lost here real easy. No, I'm not going any farther into this place. I'm staying here, where I can get back out again.
You are as strong as we hoped, human.
I can understand you.
In Space-Time 6, all living minds communicate perfectly. You stand at the doorway, human. You show us all the pathway back to life. To reality. To a place where we will someday die, yes, but we will have a life before we die.
Every past and future. I can see them all, but which one is real?
those are some places we haven't seen.
Go back now, human. Take me home. My people have their bodies, their bones, their lives again. We owe you a great debt, Commander Lowe.
All I want, now that my friends are dead, is to go back to Earth and tell the story of how they died.
Why not let them tell their own story?
I wish.
You knew the way home, but I know all the other paths through time and space.
Wait! Don't go back there!
Woof.
I have brought you a gift.
Maggie! Brink! You're alive again.
We were lost, but this being found us and led us back.
Ugh. That animator.
Maggie!
No wonder I didn't
thought I'd
remember
lost
her
you
dying.
forever.
So you really didn't try to resurrect me with the crystals?
No, I promised you. And besides, what the crystals bring back from death, it wouldn't have been you.
I know, Boston. You kept your word. And yet, you did find a way to bring me back from death.
It wasn't me, but I'm glad you're here.
And I'm free of the madness of the crystals, too. You did it, Lo.
No, it was our friend here.
No, the credit belongs to you. We once revered a great inventor because he opened the door to unchanging eternity. But you opened the passageway back into true life.
All I am is a guy who wants to get back home.
Already my people are preparing a great crystal starship to take you there.
But we can come back, can't we?
You and any others who wish to come.
Now that would
You
be
are
pretty
a
cool.
young people, strong and full of hope and passion. We have much to teach you, and you have much to share with us as well. There will be friendship between our species forever.
Nah, that's a
hope you're
promise
right.
that won't be kept.
Not all human beings are as, nice as us.
Oh, I know that. All young species are alike that way. But don't worry. If any of your people try to pick a fight, we'll mash them like bugs.
How reassuring.
The ship is almost ready. Go home and tell your people what has been accomplished here.
Telling the people, that's Maggie's job.
And getting us home, that was yours. You did it, Boston.
Thank you, Boston.
We all thank you, Boston Lowe.
The handshake. Universal sign for... Good job, bro. And that's a wrap. Thank you very much for coming on this journey with me as we voyaged into the stars to do some alien archaeology. And this is why my preferred job title all through my childhood, and honestly even still, is space archaeologist. Not really. I'm more of a texts and languages girl, but I do have a love of, you know, characters like Maggie, like Daniel Jackson. This is where it started. So I hope you enjoyed that game. We will now be wrapping up. I'm going to take a couple of weeks off while I decide what the next game I'm going to play will be. If you have suggestions for me, feel free to leave a comment. Shoot me a message on Twitter. My handle is Zillable. Or on my YouTube channel, where I'm going to upload this shortly. Thank you so much for coming on a journey with me. Keep learning, friends.